Yeah, I mean, 5 days is not that long, so it's not like our finals week. But really, when you look, because of us playing Xavier during conference play, we don't have a break from here on out. So it was good for our guys. At least I tried to get our guys fresh this week, because the next 10 weeks we're not going to have much of any type of significant break. We don't have that other teams in our league have, that entire week off somewhere like in February. So just looking ahead, I tried to make sure our guys, we kept it light until today. So Thursday, Friday, we'll be back to normal. Try to make sure we're fresh and ready to go on Saturday.
Coach, Houston's defense is about 100 spots higher in Ken Palm this year than last season. What do you think the difference is?
Well, their offense is higher too, or lower, however you want to equate it. So I would say, they lost some seniors, some guys that got some dirty work done for them. But the way Rob Gray's playing, for them to win last night without him was pretty impressive. Just to have a guy, is getting 20 a game. The last few games, he's getting 26 a game. All of a sudden, he just doesn't play, and you win. When you got to think back, like when SK was a senior for us, could we have won a game without him in the conference? They were able to win without him. So offensively, they're really ranked high in the Ken Palm. So and they're at home. So the thing about teams at home, defensively, they play better than their stats show. You got a ranked team coming in, a team picked to win the league coming in, you're going to get their maximum effort on the defensive end.
They're playing like a 1-1-3, 1-3-1 type of matchup zone. Is that different? They didn't play that last year.
No, they opened the game in They opened the game in zone at Houston last year. Coach Sampson's a veteran guy. He's going to go with whatever's working. So they opened the game zone last year. We hit 3 threes. He got out of it, and we struggled to score against their man. Here they opened in man. We pounded him inside, and he went to the zone. So he's got change-ups that he'll use. They play small and they play big. So last year he played big against us, but they've been playing small a lot this year, which we see a lot. So many teams do it. They play a shooter at the 4, and sometimes they play shooters at the 4 and the 5. So we've worked really, really hard on our bigger guys being able to play perimeter defense. Of course, you have no choice but to practice it when you play Marshall and Temple back-to-back. So it's not like we haven't seen it.
You mentioned Rob Gray. What makes him so effective?
Ball goes in the basket when he shoots. What? In all seriousness, like SK, when you can score all 3 ways, you can score you catch and shoot, you can score off the dribble, attack in the basket, and you can get to the foul line. He does all 3. Some guys are one-dimensional. They can, and you got him on this guy drives, you take away the drive, you stop him. This guy shoots, you take away his perimeter 3, you stop him. He can do all 3, and he doesn't need his teammates to get him open. He can get his own shot. So he's just a true scorer in every sense of the word.
Is Jennifer advanced to the point where you feel comfortable putting him in all the time now whenever you can for Troy? What I mean compared to last year.
Yeah, no.
It's night and day.
Yeah, I'm not concerned. Justin's eliminated 2 things that he needed to eliminate: turnovers and defensive breakdowns. Those are if you do those 2 things, I don't care what your name is, what school you go to. You can go to LaSalle or Cincinnati. You're not playing. They can't play you in a real game if you turn the ball over or if you're a defensive liability. So Justin's eliminated those 2 things. And once you eliminate those things and you get on the court like he has this year, then your talent starts to take over. You become more effective. Then you get comfortable in your shot making, your play making. But you got to eliminate those 2 things. And he's become a guy. I don't worry about that with him. I don't worry about him turning the ball over. I don't worry about him getting beat on defense. So the thing I love about him is he pushes the pace for us. He does a great job pushing the pace. Obviously, he's much quicker than Troy.
Shooting a little better too.
Yeah, he's worked really hard on his shot making, really hard on it.
This might be an odd question, but does it affect your team in any way, having such a late tip-off time, 9 p.m.?
We did it at Temple. I mean, we'd rather not have it. It's weird. But this day and age, I think if you ask our guys, they'd rather have 9 than 11 a.m. So, you know, we've all sold our souls to television. So don't get me started on that one. The same college presidents that say the coaches are overpaid are the same ones that have their volleyball team traveling 1,000 miles to play a conference game, and basketball teams playing games at 11 a.m. So us overpaid coaches don't make the schedule or the tip-off times.
You've talked about Troy's value before. Could you just go one more time about what he means to you?
Well,
Things that he does
you know,
for
Troy, I would say, you know, I'd lump Kevin in there. I think, you know, seniors, you want to go to like wins, okay? Iowa State, Kevin Johnson denies, he sees a lesser player with the ball, he denies Monty Morris the ball with the game on the line. That's an intangible. It doesn't show up in the stat sheet. They end up with a bad shot. Troy does a tremendous job of blocking out, so Gary gets the rebound. 2 things don't show up in the stat sheet, but equal a victory. And it's essential to what you're doing. You know, Troy. Somebody got beat for a layup against Temple. Troy stripped the guy. Steal doesn't show up in the stat sheet, equals victory. So a lot of things that, you know, Kevin had a great steal against Marshall where somebody got blown by off the dribble that turned into a layup for us on the other end. So I think that guys over time in winning programs become winners. So for fans to try to understand it, I mean, it's not all about stats. You know, you win games for a reason, and there's plays that show up on film that don't show up in the stat sheet. So leadership, things that go on in your locker room, things that go on behind the scenes and huddles and game preparation and hotels, things that are being talked about amongst the team when your coach is not around. That's why I tell you, there's nothing more important in team sports than leadership. And if you don't, I mean, all you got to do is like look at the Patriots.
And Troy is really good at that.
He's tremendous at it. You know, Kevin is too. That's why I lump him. You know, those guys really care if we win or lose. It really, really matters to them. Like they're more concerned with us winning than they are with their own statistics.
Would you expect Quadri to be available for this game?
Yeah, he got hurt. I was working on the board in the pregame about 45 minutes or an hour before the game, and he came in with a back injury. Got hurt in warm-ups. I told him that only happens to old guys. What's wrong? Usually that only happens in the Western Hills Sports Mall where a guy pulls himself before the game. But he said he could have played. He was having back spasms. But when you're up 30, what's the point? You know, and making it worse. Because at that time, we didn't really have time. Our training staff didn't have time to assess him or see if he needed an MRI or anything. So it was, why would you risk it? But he took a couple days off, and he's been fine this week. So hopefully it doesn't come back on him.